God, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, you who are our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. This is a very short passage. A very brief encounter that Jesus has along the way. Along the way to Jerusalem, which is his goal. To make it there and to give us a gift. In this encounter, we begin with some Pharisees who say to him, "Leave this place and go somewhere else. Herod wants to kill you." Now that could probably be interpreted in a variety of different ways. But knowing the relationship that Jesus had with Pharisees, the relationship that he had with Herod, and his knowledge of what was going on in the world, and especially in the world around him, I don't think that these Pharisees were necessarily wanting to warn him so that he would stay safe. I think it was a threat. You've probably experienced some kind of threat like that, right? Where somebody says, "Sounds like you better leave here. You better not do that." But what they're really saying is, if you do that, if you don't leave here, something bad is going to happen to you, and I'm going to be the one who does that bad thing to you. Jesus understood that. Understood that they were out to get him. And not only Herod, but the religious authorities as well. The Pharisees, the Sadducees. He had pretty much everyone except the common people against him. They knew him. They had experienced him. They had opened themselves up to the reality which was this God incarnate, God's love incarnate in Jesus Christ. So Jesus says to these Pharisees, "I'm sorry. Maybe it would be wise for me to listen to you and go hide out for a while. Or, remember we talked about temptation? Maybe it would be wiser for me to show you just how powerful I really am. That I am the one who can bring healing to people. I'm the one who spoke to the waves on the lake and they calmed. I'm the one who stood against Satan in the wilderness and didn't succumb to temptation." Here was the power of God as well as the love of God, incarnate in human form. And certainly he had the authority and the power to do great things and to pull himself out of that. But Jesus is also the one who had a goal, and he speaks about it. He says, "I'm sorry, but I have to continue driving out demons, finding those things that are keeping people from the life that they really want to have. From joy, from peace, from the love that is all around them. I want to drive those out of them so that they can have life abundant, so that they can have meaning and joy and connection in life." He also says there are other people that need to be healed. And he says then, "And the third day, I will reach my goal. We know what that first, second, third day is about because we're looking back from where we are. We know that the first day was his crucifixion, where he was beaten prior to that. And the second day was his time in the tomb. And his third day was a resurrection back to life. He had accomplished his goal. Jesus could have said to them, yeah, I better go hide. He could have said, his power is nothing in comparison to me. But what he did do was said, I came for a purpose. I came in a role to be the suffering servant and to accomplish that not through battle, not through strength, but a different kind of power, a deeper power. The power of love that is sacrificial, that is servant love. And then he talks about Jerusalem. Jerusalem that held the temple. The temple that housed the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies, which housed the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, which housed the broken parts of that tablet. God's own words on there. A representation of God's presence. And as he's thinking about Jerusalem and this place that is the center of his people, of the covenant, of the relationship that they have, he describes it like this. He says, it's like, I feel like a mother hen. And I want to go and wrap my wings around all of it. I want to embrace you all so that you know God's love and God's presence. I want to show you how close I can be with you. I want to show you that I want to protect you and care for you and keep you from any kind of harm. But in order to do that, he had to play the role of the hen. And we now know the story of the fox and the hen. The hen is the weaker one and somehow escapes, but Jesus, in his love, says, I'm not even going to try to escape. I need to be there for you. It is through my death, my gift of my life, and the power of resurrection that we will be reunited. That you will have options. That you will be forgiven. That you will experience life abundant. That you will be made a community. That Jesus, that representation of God, is one that we can trust. Because he went to the very greatest extents for us. He gave up everything and didn't have to. He did it out of love. We can trust him. We can also trust that the call that he brings to us, the call to follow me in the steps of sacrificial love, of the suffering servant, is a path that we can trust him will be powerful if we tread it. Jesus says, take up your cross and follow me. It means that we're willing to love hugely, sacrificially, and as servants. We are the church. And the church is powerful because